This story is called Pullaya Buys a Boat. For most of the year, Pullaya lives at Venkateshwarlu's house in the village of Pattisima on the banks of river Godavari. Occasionally, he takes a boat and crosses over to Sitanagaram, where his parents and his other relatives live. One day, as Pullaya boards the boat to cross over to the other side, the boat owner Bhimaraju calls out to him, "Arey Pullaya, why don't you buy a boat for yourself? Every time you cross the river, you have to pay me some money. And sometimes there may be a boat on the river bank, sometimes there may be no boat at the river bank. If you had your own boat, you could have crossed the river whenever you wanted to. And you also don't have to carry money every time." Pullaya tells the boat owner, Forget it, forget it. Why do I need to buy a boat? Your boat is anyway there, and there are many other boats also. I can take a boat whenever I want to cross the river." In reality, most of the boats in Pattisima are owned by Bhimaraju himself. Many a times, Bhimaraju rows the boats himself. Bhimaraju's son Ambiraju also rows the boats. Bhimaraju also employs a lot of assistants. There are times when there are too many customers on the shore and he has to run a lot of boats. No one knows exactly how many boats Bhimaraju owns. Some of his boats are really old and he always keeps looking out for gullible customers who would buy one of these old boats. By selling such old boats to other customers, Bhimaraju keeps making a lot of profit. When Pullaya refuses to buy his boat, Bhimaraju keeps quiet for the time being. But he keeps on thinking of ways of convincing Pullaya to buy an old boat. Over a period of time, Bhimaraju finds out all the reasons for which Pullaya keeps crossing the river. One day, as Pullaya is about to board a boat to cross the river, Bhimaraju's son Ambiraju shouts out, "Arey Pullaya, today why are you going to your village? I heard that you are going today to meet your would-be fiancée. Is she waiting for you at Sitanagaram?" "Yaar Pullaya, you should also take me to meet your would-be fiancée. What kind of nice things is she cooking for you? Or will she make you cook for her?" Saying so, he teases Pullaya. "Ha ha ha, look everyone, Pullaya is now decked up in new clothes, all ready to go and meet his would-be fiancée." Hearing this, Pullaya becomes visibly very angry. Before Pullaya can say anything, Bhimaraju quips, "Hey Ambika, why are you teasing Pullaya unnecessarily? It is none of your business as to why he would cross the river and go to Sitanagaram. He may go to Sitanagaram, he may go to Rajahmundry. Why are you bothered?" He then calls Pullaya closer to him and he says, "Look, this is the reason why I told you to buy a boat. If you had your own boat, no one would know when you are going to Sitanagaram and what you are doing there. In any case, I will fix up Ambiraju. You don't worry and get angry over these matters." Pullaya was very happy. He nodded to himself and thought, "This Bhimaraju is a very nice fellow. He is thinking of my benefit." But in reality, Bhimaraju was being very smart. He thought to himself, the seed for buying a boat has now been sown in Pullaya's mind. This simpleton Pullaya will now buy a boat sooner or later. A few more months pass. It is the rainy season. Pullaya crosses the river to go and meet his mother. On seeing Pullaya, his mother becomes very happy. She says, "Arey Pullaya, come in, come in. I have made great breakfast. How is Ammai Garu? And how is little Chandu and Bharani? I hope Abbai Garu is taking very good care of Ammai Garu. You have been in their house since she got married. You should take very good care of them, you see." Pullaya has breakfast, takes rest for a couple of hours and then sets off to leave. Before he could leave, his mother tells him, "Arey Pullaya, there is a small leak on the roof. I think you should come next week sometime and fix this leak. If the monsoon start properly, then this leak will become bigger and I will have no place to stay. Remember, huh? Pullaya says, Yes, yes, mother, I will remember. This time when I am coming, I will inform Ayagaru that I have to fix the roof and then I will come. Ayagaru will give me sufficient leave. Pullaya goes back to the river bank, takes a boat and crosses over to Pattisima. The next day, he tells Venkateshwarlu all about the roof and requests for additional leave. Venkateshwarlu says, Okay, in about 7 days, you go to your village. Take 2 days off, fix the roof properly and come back. It is okay even if you take 3 or 4 days. Fix it properly. Make sure your mother is comfortable and only then come back. Take care of your mother. Alright? Pullaya gets busy with his work. After 3 days, there is a huge downpour. It starts raining cats and dogs. Venkateshwarlu calls out to Pullaya and says, Arey Pullaya, I am worried about the roof in your house. Do one thing. Leave today itself. In fact, leave immediately and go fix the roof. Pullaya sets out to the river bank. On reaching there, he sees Ambiraju. He calls out to him, Ambiraju, get me across the river quickly. I need to meet my mother. Ambiraju responds, No way. I am not going to cross the river in this rain. The Godavari is so violent. Can't you see? It is in full spate. There is a lot of risk in crossing the river. Arey Ambiraju, please take me across. It is very important. Ambiraju says, Yes, it's okay. But it will charge 10 times more. Are you willing to pay that much money? Pullaya thinks for a moment. He says, Look, I have only little money right now. I will pay you whatever I have. Get me across the river. When I come back, I'll pay you the remaining money. Ambiraju says, No, I want all the money right now only. Pullaya begs, Please Ambiraju, get me across the river. It's very important. My mother's roof is broken. I need to really fix it quickly. Please, take me across. Ambiraju relents. Okay, I will take whatever money you are giving me right now. But remember, you have to pay me 10 times more when you come back. Ambiraju takes Pullaya across the river. Pullaya fixes his mother's roof and comes back after 3 days. On the return trip, Bhimaraju is rowing the boat. On reaching the other side of the shore, as Pullaya gets off at Pattisima, Bhimaraju says, Wait, Pullaya, I am also coming. Here, let's sit and talk. Bhimaraju lights up a cigar, takes 2 puffs and then gives it to Pullaya. He proceeds to light another cigar for himself. He tells Pullaya, Arey Pullaya, Ambiraju told me everything that had happened. I scolded him left, right and center. Why should you give 10 times more money? Is it justified? I told him that such money cannot be taken. But Pullaya, you also must understand. I can stop Ambiraju, but how can I stop the other boat people? They may take more money from you when you are in real need. Please understand, I am telling for your benefit. Buy a nice boat for me. I will also teach you how to row the boat. Then you don't have to pay anyone. You don't have to wait for anyone. Think over it and come back to me. I have a beautiful boat that is ready and one that you can buy. It is very cheap. But there are other buyers. I will hold it for 2 days for you. Come back within 2 days and the boat is yours. Pullaya says, Arey Bhimaraju, I would very much like to buy a boat, but I cannot afford it, no? Bhimaraju says, Don't worry, you do one thing. Pay me little bit money each month. I am your friend. I understand your problem and I am therefore giving you this deal. Just don't tell anybody else. If you tell others, they will also ask me for the same deal. This is a special deal just for you and a special boat just for you. Pullaya becomes very happy. The next day, he goes to Vengamamba and he says, Ammai Garu, I had saved a lot of money with you. Can you please give all that money to me right now? Vengamamba says, Wait a minute, I'll go and get the money. Vengamamba brings the money and giving it to Pullaya, she asks him, Arey Pullaya, what will you do with all this money? You just came back from your mother's house. I thought you would give it to her. Are you going back home again? Pullaya says, No, madam. I am planning to buy a beautiful boat with this money. That boat owner Bhimaraju, he has promised to give me a very nice boat. Vengamamba gets suspicious and asks him, Give me all the details. Pullaya explains the installment method that Bhimaraju has offered. And he tells her, Madam, he has requested me not to tell anyone. You also please don't tell this to anybody. Otherwise, Bhimaraju might feel bad. Vengamamba says, Okay. Do one thing. Go tomorrow morning to buy the boat. There's a lot of work in the house today and it's also very hot. Tomorrow morning would be a nice time to buy the boat. Pullaya is very happy and continues doing the work in the house. In the meantime, when Venkateshwarlu comes home for the afternoon lunch, Vengamamba tells him everything that has happened and she says, I think there is something suspicious. You should also investigate and find out what is happening. Later that evening, when Venkateshwarlu meets the Sarpanch and the village elders at the village square, he tells them, Every month we go to examine the steps in the river bank to see if the stones are loose or if there has been any damage. The past couple of days there's been heavy rains in the river Godavari. Why don't we go tomorrow morning and check out the steps? The Sarpanch and a couple of other elders immediately agree and say, Let's all meet tomorrow morning at the river bank. Later that night, Venkateshwarlu tells Vengamamba, I will be going to the river bank tomorrow morning. Make sure that Pullaya leaves for the river bank half an hour after I have left. The next morning, Venkateshwarlu, the Sarpanch and two other elders reach the river bank to examine the steps. Sure enough, Bhimaraju was already there at the river bank. After some time, Pullaya also reaches the river bank. Pullaya and Bhimaraju strike a conversation and start boarding a boat. Bhimaraju is showing Pullaya around the boat. Venkateshwarlu notices this and calls out to Pullaya, Arey Pullaya, what are you doing? Pullaya responds enthusiastically, Ayyagaru, I am buying this boat from Bhimaraju. Venkateshwarlu retorts, Oh, is it? Let me also take a look at the boat. As he is about to go towards the boat, Venkateshwarlu turns around and tells the others, Sarpanchji, you please continue examining the steps. I will just go quickly and take a look at the boat and come back. As the others nod, Venkateshwarlu goes to examine the boat. In a few minutes of looking at the boat, Venkateshwarlu realizes that Bhimaraju is making a fool out of Pullaya. He tells Bhimaraju, what are all these holes in the boat? You have covered them using paint. Bhimaraju says, No sir, I will fix all those things. Venkateshwarlu notices a few more problems with the boat and gets evasive responses from Bhimaraju. Venkateshwarlu then calls out to the Sarpanch. He says, Sarpanchji, I have heard that you have a lot of experience with boats. Can you come and please examine this boat? The Sarpanch takes a look at the boat and he verifies all the errors that Venkateshwarlu has seen. The Sarpanch also gets very angry with Bhimaraju. He says, Bhimaraju, why are you selling this boat? This boat has so many problems that it cannot be fixed easily. Venkateshwarlu joins in angrily. What are you doing, Bhimaraju? Since when did you start this business? Why are you making a fool out of Pullaya? What did you think? There was no one to take care of him? I and the Sarpanch and the other elders are now very angry with you. You shouldn't be doing this kind of thing. And what about the name of our village? What will the neighboring villagers think if they find out that our boatman Bhimaraju is selling old boats and making fools out of people? Venkateshwarlu looks at the Sarpanch. The Sarpanch also is now very angry. The other elders are also very angry with Bhimaraju. Bhimaraju with folded hands begs and says, Sorry, Andy. I really thought I could fix the problem with this boat. If you and the Sarpanch think that these problems cannot be fixed, then definitely the boat is very old. I will never sell these kinds of old boats to my customers. I am very sorry, Andy. Venkateshwarlu then says, from now on, whenever you are selling a boat, you have to make sure that the Sarpanch and other elders are also present. Otherwise, it will not be good. Did you understand? If anyone complains that you are selling old boats, we will take you to task. The other elders also give their peace of mind to Bhimaraju. Bhimaraju promises, I will never sell boats like this and try to cheat my customers. As they are going back home, Venkateshwarlu calls out to Pullaya and tells him, Pullaya, did you now understand how he was trying to make a fool out of you? Do not get carried away by sentiments and buy things that you do not need. And even if people tell you that you can buy things on installments, be very careful. Don't buy things that are too expensive and out of reach of your pocket.